Jai Hind friends. In last lecture we have discussed that how to evaluate a triple integral if limits are known. Now we are going to understand that if the limits are not known, then how to find the limits of a triple integral. Suppose we have this region E in space for which the limits are to be calculated. It is bounded by this surface z equal to u2 xy from top and by this surface z equal to u1 xy from bottom. To find limits, first of all find the z value from the surface covering the region from the top. It will give upper limit of z. Thus, for this region this value u2 xy will be upper limit of z. Then find the z value from the surface covering the region from bottom. It will give lower limit of z. By this manner limits of z are obtained. Now to find limits of x and y, use the projection of the region on xy plane to find the limits of x and y as we find limits in double integral. Thus what will we do? We will take its projection or shadow on xy plane. Its shadow will be something like this. Now this region D is a region in xy plane. We shall find the limits of x and y as we find the limits in double integral, and applying those limits the limits of triple integral will be calculated. Now we understand the idea with the help of example. Example says evaluate triple integral over v x square z dz dy dx throughout the volume bounded by the planes x equal to 0, y equal to 0, z equal to 0 and the plane x plus y plus z equal to 1. We wish to evaluate this triple integral, and the volume V over which the integral is to be calculated is bounded by these planes and the plane x plus y plus z equal to 1. We know that z equal to 0 is the equation of xy plane, y equal to 0 is the equation of xz plane, and similarly x equal to 0 is the equation of yz plane. Means we are talking about the volume lying in positive octant, because the volume is bounded by this plane. So the volume will be looking like this. This plane x plus y plus z is shown by this triangle here. It has 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1 as points of intersection on coordinate axis, and the region bounded by this plane and in positive octant shown here in blue color is the region of integration. Now we will first find the limits of z for this region. To find the limits, we observe that the lower part of the region is bounded by this surface which is part of xy plane. Equation of xy plane is z equal to 0. So z value from the surface covering the region from bottom is 0. So lower limit of z will be 0. Now this volume or region of integration is covered from top by this plane. This plane has the equation x plus y plus z equal to 1. Z value from this plane will be 1 minus x minus y. So this z value will be the upper limit of triple integration. Thus these limits z from 0 to 1 and 0 to 1 minus x minus y are written here as limits of z. Now, we are going to find limits of x and y. This is our region. Z values, z limits are already calculated. To find limits of x and y, as I have already told, that we consider the shadow or projection of the region on xy plane, because this is a pyramid having vertex at this point. Its projection on xy plane will be nothing but this triangle. This triangle will be used to find limits of x and y. I have drawn this triangle separately in this figure. This triangle, when drawn here, will be looking like this. This is origin, this is x axis, and this is y axis. Because this line is obtained by taking intersection of plane with xy plane, so this equation can be obtained by replacing z as 0 in this equation. Substituting z equal to 0 in this equation, I get 1 minus x minus y equal to 0, and which gives x plus y equal to 1. So, the equation of this line will be x plus y equal to 1. Now, we find the limits of x and y from this triangle, as we have done already in finding limits of double integral. For this, I divide the region into vertical slices. The bottom of slice lies on x axis, whose equation is y equal to 0. So, lower limit of y will be 0. The highest point of this slice lies on this line. Its equation is y equal to 1 minus x. So, its equation is 1 minus x. To find limits of x, we shall use extreme points of the region. From x extreme point, I observe that it is y axis, so x equal to 0, and limits of x will be 0 to right extreme point. This right extreme point has its coordinates as 1 comma 0. So, this is 1. Thus, these are the limits of x and y, and applying these limits, the triple integral can be calculated. These are limits of y, these are limits of x. Applying these limits, the limits of z were from 0 to 1 minus x minus y. Limits of y are from 0 to 1 minus x. Limits of x are from 0 to 1. As we have already told that outermost limit in a multiple integral must always be constant. Therefore, the limits of x which are constant are written outside. Y has one variable x in its limits. So, second limit are written for y. Because z has maximum number of variables, 2 variables, so those limits are right in innermost limits. Now, after evaluating the limits, I can evaluate the triple integral as usual. First of all, we shall integrate with respect to z, because limits of z are written inside and we have written them deliberately. Then we will integrate for other variables. This is our integral. Integrating it with respect to z, x and y will remain constant. So, this x square remains unchanged. Z dz when integrated will give z square upon 2. Limits of z are from 0 to 1 minus x minus y. Applying these limits, this 1 upon 2 is constant, can be taken outside. This z is 1 minus x minus y from upper limit. So, it will become 1 minus x minus y whole square. Substituting z equal to 0, it will be 0. So, I am left with this integral. Now, this is a double integral. can be evaluated by the process of double integral, because now the limits occurring inside are limits for y. So, we shall integrate it with respect to y first. When we will integrate with respect to y, then this term 1 minus x will be treated as constant, and in that case I can use the integration of ax plus b raised to the power n directly. Integration of ax plus b raised to the power n was ax plus b raised to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 if n is not equal to minus 1, and of course it is 2, so not equal to minus 1. Applying this formula, this will give 1 minus x minus y whole cube upon 3, because it should be a in denominator. The coefficient of y is minus 1, so it is written in denominator. Now I shall apply limits for y. When I will substitute limits of y, what will happen? This minus 3 and this minus 2, it will become 6. I have written minus inside double integral. This y, when replaced by 1 minus x, it will be 0. When this y will be replaced by 0, it will be 1 minus x integration with respect to x. Simplifying, I will obtain this integral. This integral is not difficult to evaluate. This 1 minus x whole cube can be expanded using the formula a minus b whole cube. A minus b whole cube when expanded gives this expression. We then multiply this x square inside in each term. It becomes x square, it becomes 3x cube, it becomes 3x4, it becomes x raised to the power 5. Now, each of the term can be integrated using the formula for x raised to the power n. Integration of x square becomes x cube upon 3. Integration of x cube becomes x4 upon 4. Integration of x4 becomes x5 upon 5, and so on. Applying limits, I obtain these terms, because substituting x equal to 1, it will be 1 by 3, it will be 3 by 4, it will be 3 by 5, and next will be 1 by 6. Substituting x equal to 0, each of the terms will be 0, and simplification will give this value as our answer. Let me sum up once again. This triple integral was to be evaluated. This was our region of integration. We were understanding that how to find limits of x, y and z. To find limits of z, we shall observe that what is the surface bounding the region from bottom. Z value from that surface gives lower limit of z. Then to find upper limits of z, we shall observe the surface which bounds our region or volume from top, and that was x plus y plus z equal to 1. So that the value of z is 1 minus x minus y. So it became limits, upper limit of z. Its projection or shadow on xy plane was considered, and that shadow was used to find limits of double integral, so that the limits of triple integral were calculated. We can evaluate the integral by usual process. Here we must understand that we have considered the projection on xy plane, but in some situations the projection can be taken on different planes also, and in that case the things will change symmetrically. If suppose I am taking projection on xz plane, then in that case the y values of the surface will be calculated, and then the limits in terms of x and z will be written inside. So we can find the limits in different ways. In fact, a triple integral can be written in 6 different ways by taking different type of projection and slicing. Now we move towards another application of double integral. In this application, we shall understand that how can we find area by double integration. This double integral over R dx dy represents or gives area of the region R. Thus, whenever I want to calculate the area of a region R, what we will do? We will simply use this double integral to find the area, and the limits will be calculated for that region whose area is to be calculated. Applying those limits, we will get the area of the region. We take an example. Find the area bounded by the parabola y square equals to 4ax and its lattice rectum. We want to find the area bounded by this parabola y square equal to 4ax and its lattice rectum. The parabola y square equal to 4ax, I am assuming it to be positive, is looking like this, which is opening rightward. This is x axis, this is y axis. This is point A, 0, which is called focus of the parabola. To draw lattice rectum, we draw a line through the focus which is perpendicular to axis of the parabola, and in this manner this line is lattice rectum of the given parabola. The area bounded by the parabola and its lattice rectum will be this area. This area is the area which is bounded by lattice rectum and parabola, and we want to calculate this area using double integration. The region is looking like this. This is lattice rectum, this is parabola which is written as y equal to root 4ax, x equal to a is the equation of lattice rectum, and this point is a, 0. Now, we observe that the region is symmetrical about x axis. Therefore, to find area of entire region, we shall just calculate the area lying above x axis and multiply the resulting value by 2, and therefore, we have written required area is equal to 2 times area of this region ASL. Thus, this area ASL will now be calculated using double integration, because when I am working with this area, I need to find the limits from this shaded region, and for this, suppose I divide the region into vertical slices. From the lowest point of the slice, because now we are working in ASL, so the area below x axis will not be considered. It is already taken care by multiplying 2. This shaded part is divided into vertical slices. The lowest point of this slice is lying on x axis, whose equation is y equal to 0. So, value of y from this x axis is 0, and it became lower limit of y. The highest point of this slice lies on this parabola. From parabola, the value of y is root 4ax. This root 4ax can also be written as 2 root ax, and it became upper limit for y. Now, to find limits of x, we shall use extreme points of this region. This point A is in fact origin. So, this is 0, 0, and value of x at this point will be lower limit of x. So, lower limit of x is 0. The rightmost point lies on this line x equal to a. So, value of x is a, and therefore, upper limit of x becomes a. These are limits of y and these are limits of x. Now, we evaluate the integral. These are limits of y written inside variable limits. So, we shall integrate it with respect to y first. When we will integrate with respect to y, this dy will become y and limits from 0 to root ax will be applied. Applying these limits, it becomes 2 root ax dx. This remaining term will be 0. This 2 root a is constant, can be taken outside, and it becomes 4 root a. This root x can be written as x raised to the power half. Integrating it by the formula of x raised to the power n, it becomes x raised to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2. Limits of x are from 0 to a. Applying these limits, it will be 8, 4 to the 8 by 3 root a times a raised to the power 3 by 2, and it is nothing but 8 a square upon 3, which is required area. Let me sum up once again. We were to find the shaded area. We have observed that area is symmetrical about x axis. Therefore, I have calculated the area above x axis by double integral, and the result was multiplied by 2. Because area is nothing but double integral over region dy dx. So, this region was used to find limits of double integral. I divided into vertical slices. From vertical slice, limits of y will be obtained in terms of x, and these limits were written inside. Limits of x will be calculated from extreme points or corners, and these are limits of x, and evaluating the integral in a simpler way, we reached to the value of the area which was desired. Now, we take another example to find area by double integration. Example says, find the area between the parabolas y square equal to 4x and x square equal to 4y. Y square equal to 4x and x square equal to 4y, these two parabolas are given, and we wish to find the area between these two parabolas. We know that the area will be double integral over the region. So, I draw the region first. Y square equal to 4x is a parabola of the form y square equal to 4ax. It will be looking like this, opening rightwards. The second equation is x square equal to 4y. X square equal to 4y is also a parabola which is of the form x square equal to 4ay. This x square equal to 4ay will be looking like this. The shaded area which I have shaded now, this will be the area between these two parabolas, because it is bounded by this and this parabola. This shaded area is to be calculated. The parabola is drawn here like this. This upper part has the equation y square equal to 4ax. This lower part has the equation x square equal to 4y, and the area of this shaded part is to be calculated. We shall first find the extreme points of the region, so that limits can be calculated easily. For this, we observe this is not 4ax, this is simply 4x. This is 4x. We shall first find the point of intersection of these two parabola, and those points of intersection will give this and this point. I have already written here 0, 0 and 4, 4. How we have calculated these points? Let me devote 2 minutes. First equation is y square equal to 4x. Second equation is x square equal to 4y. From second equation, I calculate y equals to x square upon 4. Substituting y equal to x square upon 4 here, it will give x square upon 4 whole square is equals to 4x. It gives x4 upon 16 equal to 4x, x4 equal to 64x. It means x4 minus 64x equal to 0, and by this way I can take x outside. It will give x cube minus 64 equal to 0, so that x equal to 0 from this factor, and next factor will give x equal to 4, because x cube equal to 64 will have only one real root, x equal to 4. For x equal to 0, when substitute x equal to 0 here, I obtain y equal to 0. When I substitute x equal to 4 here, I will obtain y equal to 4. We can substitute here also, it will look more clear. Thus 0, 0 and 4, 4 are points of intersection of these two parabolas. Now the region is shaded, the points of intersection endpoints are already calculated, and now we are going to find limits. The area will be double integral over r dy dx. Now to find the limits, I divide the region into vertical slices. This is the parabola x square equal to 4y. This has equation y square equal to 4x. The lowest point of this slice lies on this parabola. Its equation is x square equal to 4y, and it gives y equal to x square upon 4, which will be lower limit of y. The highest point of the slice lies on this parabola. Its equation is y square equal to 4x. The value of y obtained from here will be root 4x. Now limits of x will be calculated using extreme points. The first extreme point has x equal to 0. So lower limit of x will be 0. The last extreme point has x equal to 4. So it will be upper limit of x, and applying these limits, the integral can be evaluated. These limits are placed here in a more beautiful way. Integrating this with respect to y, we will get this expression dy when integrated will give y. Limits of y are from x square upon 4 to root 4x. Applying upper limit, it gives root 4x. Applying lower limit, it gives x square upon 4, dx unchanged. Simplifying, I obtain 2 root x from first term, x square by 4 as it is. This 2 is constant, will remain unchanged, but root x will be x raised to the power half. Integrating it by the formula x raised to the power n, I will obtain x raised to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2. This x square will be x cube upon 3 after integration. Now I obtain this expression. This 2 goes in numerator, it becomes 4 upon 3 x raised to the power 3 by 2. It becomes 1 upon 12 x raised to the power 3. Applying limits, it becomes 4 times 4 raised to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 minus 1 upon 12 4 raised to the power 3. Substituting 0, that is lower limit, I obtain 0. This 4 raised to the power 3 by 2 becomes 2 cube. This is 16 upon 3, and simplifying I obtain this expression, which is nothing but 16 upon 3, which is required area. Let me sum up once again. These two parabolas were given. The area bounded by these two parabolas was to be calculated. First of all, I calculated points of intersection by solving these two equations simultaneously. Then divided the region into vertical slices. From vertical slice, limits of y were calculated. Then limits of x were calculated from extreme points. Applying these limits and simplifying, I obtained the value of given area. Thus, in this lecture, we have understood that how to find limits of a triple integral when region of integration or volume is given. Then we have learnt how to evaluate the triple integral applying those limits. Then we understood the application of double integral to find the area of a region. We have seen that if we take the function inside double integral as 1, then the double integral over r dy dx gives area of the region. We have also taken the examples on these ideas. Next time we will discuss our next concept, which is volume by double integral. We are stopping now. Thank you.